Welcome to this edition of Schoolfundr Sessions, where we talk with coaches, ADs, teachers, and administrators about their fundraising challenges and how Schoolfundr helped them reach their goals. I'm Connor Tinnis, Chief Marketing Officer here at Schoolfundr, best online fundraising platform for school communities. Schoolfundr is purpose-built for youth organizations and schools to raise more funds than ever before and keep more of what they raise than any other platform. With Schoolfundr, you get our best-in-class digital platform that offers you all the options and oversight that you could hope for. And just as importantly, our economic model allows you to keep everything you raise minus a roughly 3% payment processing fee from Stripe. There are no platform fees, no setup fees, no subscription fees at all. So break free from those unnecessary fees because nobody gives you more than Schoolfundr. Thrilled to be joined today by a couple of folks. We have Brian Schuster, our territory account manager for the Mid-Atlantic, has brought us Mark Walcott, who is the coordinator of athletics and facilities at Oakdale High School in Frederick County in Maryland. So say hello, Shu.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And welcome, Mark, to this session. Appreciate you having coming aboard.
Thank you very much. We're glad to be here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so Mark, we always get started with a little bit of background of the guests who we're talking with. So why don't we start with a little bit of your background on how long you've been at Oakdale and sort of in that surrounding area, and give everybody kind of across the country an idea of what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Absolutely. Again, my name is Mark Walcott. I've been in Frederick County Public Schools for a little over 30 years. We are, just for proximity, about 45 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, so kind of the outer suburbs of those two areas. Spent years coaching and teaching, coached soccer for most of my career, but then obviously spent time as well as an athletic director, as an administrator, assistant principal, and in the role I'm in now, coordinator of athletics and facilities at Oakdale for the past 4 years.
That's terrific. And I think the majority of the ADs that we talk with that background in coaching when it comes to these fundraising conversations can be really helpful, because having to relate to the amount of time that it takes for the coaches being involved in fundraising, you guys have obviously that very unique perspective of being able to juggle this along with all the other things that those individual coaches can do. So you and Shu have known each other for quite some time and in this industry, which is really helpful in coming aboard. Talk a little bit about the trust that you have with Brian and how that brought you to Schoolfundr a bit.
Absolutely. Brian and I have worked together in the past. So when he came over to Schoolfundr, he communicated with me early on. And I think besides him, discussing the model that you all have, the strength of relationship and trust, I think, in all the work we've done before made it very easy to begin to work together. And obviously that has continued during our time, working through Schoolfundr in the programs that we've run with you all. So it's been a joy working with him and the support we consistently receive.
Yeah, the trust goes a long way in this industry, and I think Shu's one of our absolute best territory managers. So we're really happy to have him on as a part of our team. And I think you mentioned that that support and kind of the simplicity of the platform as well is something that was advantageous for you, for your coaches, when you guys were starting to review different options and I'm ultimately deciding to come aboard and start using Schoolfundr as your platform. So speak a little bit, if you can, about that, the support that you get, but then also, how that makes it simple for your coaches.
Well, I think, again, as we stated, with Brian reaching out, and we talked about Marcel, who's joined us recently, their quality of communication with myself as well as our coaches, I think the speed of feedback and how simple they make it for coaches to get the fundraiser set up, get moving forward, makes it very advantageous. And for any coach, and this is while I'm involved, obviously it's mostly coaches and they're raising for their programs. For any coach, a fundraiser, there's a cost benefit analysis out of it, is how much time I'm having to put in relation to what we're going to raise. And obviously the online platforms have changed that dynamic dramatically over the years from what we used to do. Within those type of platforms, Schoolfundr has continued to prove, the quality of support and the simplicity of getting any fundraiser up and running, and then the effectiveness that goes along makes it so beneficial for our coaches.
Yeah, Marcel is terrific. He's not on the call, the session with us today, but yes, he's one of our fundraiser experts that focuses on executing and running those fundraisers. And so, yeah, the support is really important. As much as we need and try to do things as much virtually as we can, just like we're doing this session right now, right? As much as we try to do that, the personal touch is really important, and I think a big piece as to why so many ADs have chosen and decided to expand what they do with us, because that personal touch really does go a long way, and it can keep things simple. I think there's a little bit of planning and a little bit of structure on the front end can really go a long way to a successful fundraiser, but also to running the successful fundraisers across the entire department. You're a part of our Schoolfundr Plus program, which is a tool for the athletic directors and those that are overseeing large departments to be able to see everything that's happening across their department. And that's a free tool that we have for athletic directors to use to consolidate that. Talk with us a little bit about those administrative tools and how helpful they've been to be able to see what's going on across the department.
No, I believe, those administrative tools are essential for us. While the funds that come in through the fundraisers, go into our booster programs for our coaches used with the funds they raise. As a school system, we have very tight oversight of those for financial credibility and integrity with how those funds are used. And so for me to be able to have the consistent oversight of what is being raised, when those monies are being deposited, for me to then track how those funds are being used and manage that financial piece from the school system side is essential, so that we ensure that the boosters are running in a manner of financial integrity, but also the funds are going to the correct program. They're being used with equity, across the board as we put them in, have the coaches use them as we move forward. So that administrative platform was an essential piece of kind of where we go.
And Brian, we've gotten probably our largest number of schools, I think maybe in your Mid-Atlantic territory, onto the Schoolfundr Plus platform. So we've had many conversations with ADs like Mark about those tools being helpful. What is it that you think is standing out to the folks in that part of the country about how valuable the Schoolfundr Plus platform has been?
Yeah, that great question. So when I show the dashboard to the athletic directors that I work with, and they're able to see all fundraisers, future, past, and present, who's participating, who's putting in their contacts, has a fundraiser ended, has a check been requested. I mean, when you have all of that like at a click of a button, it's really helpful to these athletic directors, because a lot of the coaches, they're teachers, right? So they're in class during the day. So if they need a simple question asked or answered, they don't have to go wait for someone's class to be over or someone's practice to be over. With one click of a button, they can log in and they can answer any question that they need. So it is, they like having that, like what I like to call that eyes on, hands off.
Absolutely. And so, Mark, in running the fundraisers and the success we've had so far in those, what stood out to you as far as the both the reasons for success, but also kind of the benefits that you guys have gotten from running those fundraisers with Schoolfundr?
Well, I think obviously one reason for success is simply the model you discussed earlier. The percentage that stays within the school is incredibly attractive, and I think one from the funds that we raise, but I think it also serves a purpose that families are more likely and encouraged to donate when they see the amount that is staying with the program. So I think it's twofold. We get a greater percentage, but those willing to donate are significantly more because of the model. So that in and of itself is a game changer in terms of the amount of funds that are being made. And as I think we look at a lot of our programs, I'm looking at the dashboard right now, and a lot of our programs are overshooting what they wanted to make, and so the platform itself, the simplicity with the way it's structured for people to donate, has just been, successful beyond what we could have expected.
Yeah, I mean, the economic model in place really breeds a lot of positivity from the donors, right? Because they know that there's not unnecessary and unwanted fees that are being siphoned away from it. They know they're able to really give what they want to give to the cause that they're trying to support, right? And so that positivity, it should be a very positive experience, right? They should feel great about what they're doing. And so the economic model helps with that. Talk to us a little bit too about the differences. You mentioned you guys have done all sorts of things in the past with fundraising, and being able to expand, an online platform like ours that allows you to expand your reach, not just to the folks that you can knock on doors to, but also, extending to the farther reaches of the community and beyond, and how impactful that's been.
Well, absolutely. As we know, the change to digital platforms has been game changing in fundraisers. The reach beyond your immediate community is significant. And I also think, we look at it, these models, the online platform, and specifically of Schoolfundr fundraiser, is important because we want to change the models of how we did things. The old knocking on doors isn't safe. It's something we're not permitted to do because of that. And so being able to, do this through an online platform is important to provide the right environment for our students to raise money. But two, as noted, we now can go well beyond the immediate community. Family members, friends from all over the country, all over the world, have the opportunity to support our programs and our students in a very easy manner. And again, I think that's reflected in, the amount of funds that are raised each time we do a fundraiser.
The platform does make it pretty simple and quick to, with one-click sharing, to be able to use whatever social platforms you want to use, or a text or a link out to those folks to expand that reach. It does help quite a bit, and it's great to see that you guys have had some tremendous success through it. So as we wrap up, Mark, what would you say to folks that are considering either making that change to the online fundraising world for the first time, or starting to consider Schoolfundr as their option?
Well, I guess I'd just start with this, in today's climate and budget challenges, the reality is the buying power of the funds we bring in through our school gate ticket sales and gate receipts on those lines, they may be fairly stagnant, going up a little bit, but it doesn't keep up with the inflation and change of cost to run a program. And so first and foremost, we know that fundraising is essential. I just finished meetings as we started the school year with both our coaches, and I had parent meetings the other night with all our programs. We came back for the fall, and we spent time talking about the importance of fundraising to be able to provide the environment, equipment, experience that we want our kids to have, right? And you can't completely do that without the fundraising side of this. From that, obviously, the online platforms we've already discussed simplifies the process, makes it very time efficient for our coaches, where they can then really spend more time focusing on what they really want to do, which is work with the students that we have. But as we said, it broadens the reach, and therefore, again, with all those factors, just significantly increases what we're able to bring in to put back into our programs, and most importantly, put back into the students.
It's great insights, Mark. We really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us, and thanks again too for joining us, Brian, as our territory account manager for that part of the country. It's been great to see the success that we've had out there, and your relationships there with folks like Mark have been a good part of it. So once again, thanks, Mark, and thanks everyone else for joining us for this Schoolfundr session. To learn more about how we can help you with your fundraising needs, you can visit us at schoolfundr.org and book time to chat with a rep in your area. You can also follow us on all your favorite social media channels for case studies and fundraising tips and all kinds of other updates. Just search Schoolfundr and you'll find us there. Thanks again for joining us. We look forward to sharing more time with you again soon. Take care.